Good morning, everyone. So, I'm Vice Mayor Walter Burnett, Alderman Walter Burnett. We want to thank God for this day. When we started this, I was just Alderman Burnett. First of all, I want to acknowledge some of our elected officials that's here, or that was here. State Senator Aquino just left. State Representative Williams is here. Of course, you all know the mayor's here. I'd like to acknowledge some of the community folks. So a lot of people don't know that we started this thing in 2004. Back in 2004, myself, some people from the industrial area, some people from this community, other folks that's around the west side, we came together and we did a press conference saying we need an L-stop over here on Kedzie. I've been blessed to have been an alderman for a minute, and we've been blessed to have, I was just telling the mayor, we've been blessed to be a part of 3 L-stops. One is the California stop, the second was the Morgan stop, now it's this stop. And one of the reasons being is that between Clinton and Central Park, we didn't have an L-stop, right? Between Madison and California, Madison and Grand, there's no bus stop. People in these communities been neglected of access to public transportation for many years. Some of it is due to economics, some of it is due to ethnicity. For me, this L-stop is a social justice issue. It's something that needed to be done a long time ago. They took these L-stops out, I think back in the 40s or 50s, and I know at that time there was a lot of poor people over here. Matter of fact, probably at that time, there was a lot of poor people over here from a lot of different ethnicities in this community. And it's a shame how back in those days, how we used to gear things toward economics. Now you have an area that's very mixed. We have an industrial area where a lot of people work union jobs, good jobs, but they don't have easy access to get to those jobs. Also, you have an area where we have mixed income development, formerly Henry Horner projects, where public housing, where folks they have a demand that they have to have a job or have some other kind of assistance. How you gonna give people a demand that you have to have a job and you don't have access to public transportation? That's just not right. So, for me, this is something that we've been advocating for. We started with, this has been for 3 administrations. So that's why you all need to make sure aldermen like me stay around for a long time. Because if we don't get it done today, we're gonna get it done sooner or later, right? And so I thank God for the opportunity to have been around, to be able to see this, and I'm already talking to the mayor about another L-stop somewhere else in my ward. So without further ado, the person who took us to the finish line, the person who has helped us to do so many things in our community, a person who, when I talk about equity, is something that's just ingrained in him. So it's easy to talk about. I don't have to sell it when I talk to him. He knows it, he feels it, he's about it. The person who's gonna help me to put the next L-stop up in my ward, Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Y'all do me a favor, y'all keep clapping for Alderman, the Vice Mayor, Walter Burnett. Thank you for your leadership in that introduction. You know, Alderman Burnett and I go back a long time ago when I was working out of the New City YMCA in Cabrini Green, USA, what I like to call my second family there, and when I was teaching down at Jenner Academy. And Alderman Burnett has always been a real champion for the people of Chicago, and he is far more relieved that he was nice to me 20 years ago, because be careful how you treat people. That you just might need them to help you build an L station. But thank you all for being here. What an exciting time in Chicago, huh? How about it? Over here on the near west side, and it's always good to start your day off on the best side of the city of Chicago, the west side. So, you know, I made sure to take this route to get here this morning using public transportation. The Green Line is the closest line to me, and as Alderman Burnett has already articulated, you know, the Green Line in particular has such historic relevance because it's the only line that touches the west and the south sides. And we know that when it comes to accessibility for the people of this region, this line is a line that we have to continue to draw to make sure we close the gaps between those who have and those who desire. This project did not happen without a citywide collaboration. And so I want to shout out a couple of people in my remarks. CDOT Commissioner Tom Carney, can you give him a round of applause? CTA President Dorville Carter, please give him a round of applause. ICNC CEO Steve DeBretto. And then finally, this wonderful artistic display, this beautiful artwork, Fo Wilson. Give it up for our esteemed artists. And all of the city departments and agencies, partners, community members who have championed the Damen Green Line station. I would like to give, again, a special thanks to the construction contractor, FH Passion, for their tireless work on this project. I know we have some Passion scholars in attendance today. I'm grateful to see FH Passion partnering with Westinghouse College Prep. Give it up for Westinghouse Warriors. I see my good friend, the principal, my good friend. I've known him for, my gosh, 25 plus years, go all the way back in our teenage when we were just barely 18, 19 years old. The principal, Mr. Burgess, can you all give him a shout out, my good friend? So you all know I used to teach at Westinghouse, right? I do know that, all right. But to prepare our young people for opportunities and careers in architecture, engineering, and construction, FH Passion is truly imbibing what I call the soul of Chicago. That's how we build a better, stronger, safer city through the lens and experiences and expertise of our young people. And thank you to the team for being a strong example. I also want to acknowledge this incredible display, the design work, Perkins and Will. Give it up for Perkins and Will. So many people came together to deliver, as Alderman Burnett has said, justice for the people of this city and this region. Now, we go all the way back to 1948 when this L stop was shut down. I remember as a child how we would visit this area. My father was a pastor and worked with pastors on the west side of Chicago, and not too far from here, Revival Center, the grandfather of State Senator Napoleon Harris. And this region was neglected and ignored. But this station, that is an $80 million investment, is fully accessible, stunningly modern, is beautified by artwork that reflects the soul of this community. And with the opening of this station, we take another step in our city's journey to reverse the historic disinvestment of this community. Accessible, reliable, affordable public transit is how we connect the people on the near west side to opportunities beyond their neighborhoods. And we connect all Chicagoans to the incredible community areas on the west side and, of course, the Kinsey Street corridor. The station is strategically located for students who are also attending Malcolm X College. Give it up for the president of Malcolm X College, David Sanders. Thank you for being here. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, this might be the most sanctified L stop in the entire city of Chicago. There's a lot of church people out here today. The principal of Westinghouse is a pastor. The president of Malcolm X College is a bishop. Walter Burnett is a deacon. And all the saints and friends of Chicago. But in closing, the DNC is just 12 days away. We are ready to host the world in the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago. We are ready. And so this station comes at a perfect time. But not only are we celebrating the opening of this station, we're also celebrating the fact that we are a growing community. Soon, the Chicago Housing Authority will open a nearby West Haven Park, a $50 million equitable transit-oriented development. I'm gonna say that one more time, creating 96 mixed income apartments in this community. The city of Chicago on the near west side is alive and well. Because every single Chicagoan should live in a healthy, walkable, vibrant community. I made a commitment when I ran for mayor to invest in people, and that's exactly what we are doing. And so I'm thrilled about the promise and potential of this station to revitalize our neighborhoods and uplift all of our residents. But I know that there are many more communities in our city that deserve the type of improved transit access that we are seeing today. And so that's why we have to continue to come together. The work that we would do to collaborate until all people of this city can benefit easily from accessible and reliable public transportation in their community, we will continue this work together. So let's continue on this momentum as we invest in the people and in the future of our city. And with that, I'm grateful to bring to the stage a person who has lived through at least as many administrations as Alderman Burnett. You all make them feel really good on the west side of Chicago. Commissioner Tom Carney.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, Mayor. I just briefly would like to add to the acknowledgement of dignitaries here. Our former commissioner, CDOT Commissioner Rebecca Scheinfeld, who certainly had a role in this. She not only is a CDOT alumni, she's a CTA alumni, so it's very fitting that she's here today. Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Tom Carney, Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Transportation. It's an honor to stand here with you all as we celebrate the opening of the new Damen Green Line station. It's a great day for the West Side, Mayor, and it's also a great day for Chicago. CDOT is proud to have helped deliver this very special project. The new Damen Green Line station embodies our commitment to creating a transportation network that is equitable, sustainable, and resilient. It's ensuring all Chicagoans have access to the opportunities our city has to offer. We know this project has been eagerly anticipated by the community, and it wouldn't have been possible without the leadership of Alderman Burnett, who recognized that a station at this location serves not only the neighborhood's transportation needs, but will be a catalyst for future development. And I just want to say that, I've worked with Alderman Burnett for many years. Our departments had a great partnership with him for many years. I'll do myself and him a favor and not say how many years, but I just want to say that whether it's a project at the residential, just block level, or a major capital investment, this alderman knows infrastructure. He knows how to provide leadership and partner with us to get it done. So I can't thank you enough, Alderman Burnett. How fantastic does this station look? I mean, you'll never be confused, right. You'll never be confused about which color CTA station line you're at when you're getting service at this location. This is truly one of the most visually compelling stations in Chicago. Not only is it a crucial mobility hub, but it's also a stunning addition to the near west side, featuring innovative design that enriches Chicago's architectural history. I want to acknowledge the incredible design work by Perkins and Will. A special thanks to their entire team, but especially Design Director Ralph Johnson and Design Principal Brian Schabel. Let's give them a round of applause. From the grand stairs and escalator visible through the glass facade and the incredible mural, every detail has been thoughtfully considered to enhance the passenger experience and create a vibrant addition to this community. I encourage everyone to check out the spectacular views from the glass pedestrian bridge that connects the inbound and outbound stations. Turning this incredible design into reality required the hard work of our prime contractor, FH Passion. They went above and beyond to bring this project to fruition. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to recognize President Jim Blair, Senior Vice President Roland Schneider, Project Executive Jeremy Saylor, Project Manager Patrick Wright, and Superintendent Tony Spazzeri. And I also, in addition to their leadership, I want to recognize the hardworking trades that were on this job. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. In the home stretch here, on many days you had 120 plus trades out here working around the clock to get this done. You know, we're blessed to have such great trades continuing a legacy. You know, they've built this city, and that legacy continues today. That strong partnership and legacy continues today, and it's evidenced right here. In addition to FH Passion's outstanding construction work, I want to commend them for their commitment to community stewardship. They have been particularly dedicated to supporting young people by providing them with exposure to careers in construction, engineering, and architecture. This includes the Passion Scholar Program, and I know we have some of those students here in the audience today. Earlier this summer, CDOT, CTA, and Passion hosted a group of students from nearby Kelman Elementary School. The students visited the project site, talked with members of the project team, and got a behind-the-scenes look at this incredible infrastructure project taking place right in their neighborhood. And having participated in that, I want to commend those students because they asked some great questions and really got into it. It was a really wonderful experience. We hope this station remains a source of pride for the community for decades to come. It is truly a landmark in the community and a mobility hub for the West Side. As Mayor Johnson noted, we are also very proud to announce that this station is also home to our 1,000th Divvy station. We are currently in the midst of a major expansion of the Divvy system, working towards a citywide goal of 4 stations per square mile across all of Chicago. Our aim is to continue providing efficient, equitable, and sustainable ways for folks to get around our city. At Damen and Lake, you can seamlessly connect to a bus, bike, or walk to neighborhood destinations. And critically, this station is fully accessible for those who use mobility devices. Before I close, I want to acknowledge the awesome team at CDOT for their hard work on bringing this station to life. I want to recognize, well, you save your applause, I got a list here. Dan Burke, our Chief Engineer, Managing Deputy Commissioner, Ann Zhang, Deputy Commissioner of Division of Engineering, Chiako Hai, Deputy Commissioner, Division of Administration, and the folks who really got their hands on the project, Julian Silva, Program Director, Rajiv Pinto, Project Manager, Eric Anderson, Chief Construction Engineer, and Omar Alani, Resident Engineer. They did an awesome job. I want to recognize our construction management team led by Rubinos and Mesa Engineers, including their subcontractor Arcadis. I want to recognize Robert White, Resident Architect, Nicolo Sekvik, Resident Engineer, Tahir Jaffer, Inspector. I also want to recognize AAA Engineering, and I want to recognize Salar Fadal, Inspector. And in closing, I just want to say 2 things. You know, this would not have happened without the strong leadership and support that Mayor Johnson and his administration gives to CDOT so that we can build and deliver projects such as this. So I want to thank you very much, Mayor. And I know every commissioner thinks their department's the best, but while I got the mic, I got to talk a little bit about CDOT here. So, we know, myself and all the hardworking folks at CDOT, we have a great responsibility. We have a great responsibility to our residents and to this city. And I want to highlight that we have projects where we have to work hand in glove with our partners at CTA to elevate and improve and create a world-class transit system. We have to elevate and improve mobility, which is evidenced by the 1,000th divvy station. And we have to work hand in glove with other agencies such as Housing and DPD to advance the needle on ETOD, which is right across the street. That is a great responsibility, but it is a great responsibility that's why we do this. And that's why I would say that our department is world-class and second to none in the country and in the world. And so I just want to, a day like today, I always say to our team that this is like our version of when there's a team that wins the championship and they have the victory parade and the pep rally. So this is our pep rally, and we just want to thank everyone. And it's my pleasure to introduce my friend and my colleague, CTA President Dorval Carter. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, everybody. I am certainly happy to be here to join Mayor Johnson, Commissioner Carney, and Alderman Burnett, as well as each of you who are here today for the opening of this beautiful, world-class new Damen Green Line station. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge another guest that's here with me, CTA Board Director Roberto Requero. Roberto, there he is. Roberto has a long history with this project, which he just told me about. Back in 2006, he led a group to get the first grant to start talking about building a new station here. And so this is very personal to him as well as it is to everyone at CTA. Roberto, thank you for coming out to participate. We certainly wouldn't be standing here today in the shadows of this incredible station if it were not for the efforts of the Chicago Department of Transportation, as well as CTA's own infrastructure and construction departments who have worked diligently together to see this project through to completion. And I want to applaud their hard work and dedication in delivering this beautiful station to us this morning. But before we begin, I want to share a personal note. Back when I was appointed president of the Chicago Transit Authority almost 8 years ago, one of the first meetings that I had was with Alderman Burnett. And the first thing that he said to me before I could even sit down was, you need to build a station to fill the gap on the Green Line in my community. So it does not surprise me that we are finally here today having this conversation, because as you have heard from the other speakers, the Alderman has been the beacon of light leading us through this process to get to this happy day today. And Alderman, I want to thank you for your leadership and your support in making this happen. The new Damen station fills a 1.5 mile gap in service that existed between the California and the Ashland Green Line stations. But the station does a whole lot more than that. The station, as you heard from Tom, will provide a new divvy docking station that will provide improved access to new transit options for residents of the Chicago Housing Authority's Villages of West Haven complex. It will help drive businesses and expand the customer base for businesses located in the Kinsey corridor. It will improve travel in the area by providing visitors a new means of getting to and from Bulls and Blackhawks games, concerts, and other special events at the United Center, including the upcoming Democratic National Convention. In recent years, this area has experienced significant residential and commercial development, and the station will help support and continue that growth. I can tell you that few things spur economic development like a rail transit station. We know that new stations are highly beneficial to city residents. They provide more transit access to our riders, allowing a more seamless travel experience, particularly when Divvy bikes are being available to provide that last mile connection for those who need it. Each day, the hardworking CTA employees move our customers throughout communities across Chicago, including here on the West Side. We take great pride in providing the best service possible and look forward to serving customers who can now catch a Green Line train that is a little bit closer to home. As CTA president, my goal is always to ensure that equity and inclusion inform every decision that we make. I am proud of our new Damen station as an equity-centered infrastructure project that will ensure better transit service for those in the community who need us the most. For decades to come, this station will provide them with an easier and faster way to connect to valuable resources and opportunities across our entire Chicago region. And as we've indicated and heard from others, it is truly a world-class transit station. So I want to thank you all for being here today to celebrate this moment. And at this point in time, it'd be my pleasure to introduce Steve DiBretto, the CEO of the Industrial Council of Near West Side, Chicago. Steve?
Thank you, President Carter. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, President Carter. Good morning and welcome to Damen and Lake. My name is Steve DiBretto. I'm the CEO of the Industrial Council of Near West Chicago, or ICNC. It's easy to look around and see how big of a benefit this station will be for the people who live in this neighborhood. I think it's easy to understand how much easier it will make it to get back and forth to the United Center for concerts and games and other events. But I want to take just a moment to talk about the benefit that this station brings to the manufacturing district just north of us. The Kinsey Industrial Corridor is home to about 1,000 businesses and upwards of 30,000 jobs. Now, there are 24 or more industrial corridors in the city of Chicago, but the Kinsey Industrial Corridor is unique in that it begins just over a mile from downtown Chicago. And so, in addition to all of the other challenges industrial corridors have, we have development pressure. And so, healthy industrial corridors do not happen by accident. They're the result of policy. For that, we're grateful for things like the planned manufacturing district that Alderman Burnett and Mayor Johnson have helped keep strong here. It takes infrastructure and transit so that people can get back and forth to those jobs. And I think that that's a cause for celebration. So in addition to advocating for the businesses in the Kinsey Industrial Corridor, we have also invested. The Industrial Council of Near West Chicago owns and operates Make City. It's one of the oldest and largest small business incubators in the nation. It's the complex of red brick buildings just on the other side of the tracks, right by the arch that goes over Damen. There are 100 businesses in our buildings and more than 500 people who work there. And those 500 jobs, like many of the other 30,000 jobs in the industrial corridor, are accessible to people at any level of formal educational attainment and with or without experience, because they're often the first rung to career ladder jobs. And so I just want to celebrate this station not only as a win for mobility, as a win for equity, but as a win for inclusive economic development. It's going to make it easier for people to start businesses in the industrial corridor. It's going to make it easier for the people who work at those businesses to get there as well. So my thanks and congratulations to Mayor Johnson, to Alderman Burnett for more than 2 decades of advocacy and support, and to the City of Chicago's Department of Transportation, CTA, and to those who built the station itself. It's my pleasure now to ask Eddie McKinney Jr. Of Vision Design to come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Good morning. This is a great day. Again, my name is Edward McKinney Jr. I am the president and owner of Vision Painting and Decorating, where we paint your vision in a spirit of excellence. We are a second generation painting contractor, which began in 2009, I should say. Vision's relationship with FH Passion is a continuation of what began with my father, Edward McKinney Sr., in 1992. We began as McKinney Decorating and then continued on to E. McKinney & Sons. So with that continuation, We've had the privilege of being FH Passion's painters on the CTA Red Line renovation from Cermak to 87th Street. And then also the painters on the 95th Street terminal, the North and South station terminals. Also painters here at Green Line, at Damen, and also on the Blue Line at CTA Racine, which is a project that's coming up soon. This has been a wonderful experience here on this project. Thank you, Alderman. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioner, Senator, as well. Not only is the station a great addition to this community, but to the city as well. As it's been said, that it will be just a straight line for those who attend Malcolm X, those who will be going to Blackhawks and the Bulls games, those who will just be here for just the community itself. It's needed something here. It's needed a station. So, again, we are grateful for CTA, CDOT, FH Passion for the opportunity to assist in the building of this project. And with that, I will say thank you and God bless. And I will introduce you to the wonderful Miss Wilson.
Good morning, Chicago. Good morning. Now, I know that it's my artwork that's up there, but I'm sorry, this station is pretty, would you say so? And I wanted to ask those in the audience, those of you that are from this neighborhood and this community, can you just raise your hand? I want to see who you are. Thank you. I am so honored to contribute some beauty to Chicago and to this station. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, Alderman Burnett, President Carter, Commissioner Carney, Senator, and everyone that contributed to making this station possible. I have a special thanks to Robert Whitty, who worked with the engineer, and Nathan Mason with the Department of Cultural Affairs, who worked directly with me to help realize this artwork, and definitely to the architects and everybody that worked to put this together. The name of the piece is Promise for Tomorrow from the Past, Looking to the Future. When I started working on this piece, and my practice is very much involved in research, so the first thing I did was to look to the history of this neighborhood. And what I found was a woman named Florence Kelly, who in a hot summer like this in 1892 went door to door to collect information about the neighborhood. Who was here? Were they working? How were they working? Were children working? She was a labor activist, and a lot of her work contributed to laws to protect our children from unfair labor practices. She found all kinds of different people that were in this neighborhood, and you see the dots, the colored dots that are in the sky in the artwork were part of her infographics on the maps that she developed that acknowledge all the different people that were part of this neighborhood. Irish, Germans, Czechs, Bohemians, French, Russian and Polish Jews, Italians and Greeks and Mexicans, and a second wave of African Americans that came through the Great Migration. So that is abstractly documented in the artwork, and the artwork asks the question, as the kids are looking up the stairs, where are they going? What kind of Chicago future might the Green Line take them to? Thank you so much. Alderman Burnett.
Thank you very much. We would be remiss if we did not acknowledge some folks that's here today. Tracy Scott, the CEO of CHA. Our COO, Mr. John Robertson from the city of Chicago. And He's a thorn in between the rows. He have 2 roses on each side of him. 2 of our deputy mayors, Miss Kenya Merritt, wow, and Lori Lipson. Yes, let's give him a round of applause. Also, the mayor acknowledged Mr. Sanders from Malcolm X College, the principal of Westinghouse, but we also have the president of the RMC, but Henry Horner, Ms. Shanae. Can you stand up, let everybody recognize who you are? And also Commissioner Arpa. Commissioner, I'm sorry. Good to see you. From the Office of Disability. Appreciate you. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not acknowledge Ken Butler from Major Adams Academy. Eddie Winters from Homeowners of Westtown, and also Ernest Gates from the Near West Community Organization. All of those folks was with me when we first started and advocated for a L station, and we appreciate them. Now we're going to get ready for the ribbon cutting. I'd like to ask a couple of people to come up. And this is not my direction, but other folks is directing this. But Tracy, can you come up? And Ms. Scott, Kenya, John.
The Commissioner of Housing is here too, Castaneda.
Oh, the Commissioner of Housing. Let's give it up for Commissioner Castaneda. 2 deputy mayors, if you all can come up also. We're gonna go by the balloon arch and cut the ribbon right at the entrance of the door. Thank you all very much. Of course, State Representative, who everyone keep calling Senator, my son, Representative Omar Williams. Tracy going to come in and press in like who has the scissors?
It's my pleasure.
Get Denise.
Hands on the ribbon. Hands on everybody, yes. LaShawn, can you see everyone? How much more? Okay. Looking in the center, please, everyone. Big smiles. Not yet. Don't play yet.
Right here first.
Big smiles.
Just do it here.
Over right here.
Yep. All right.
Count us down.
All right, we're gonna clap 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.